I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment.
Do you remember last year's Oscars where everything went to heck in a handbasket in a hurry? Well, most people certainly do. It's hard to forget a night where Will Smith was remembered for one of the best and worst parts of his career. He won the Best Actor award for King Richard, but about an hour beforehand, he slapped Chris Rock after he made a joke about his wife, Jada. The moment was out of the blue, out of character, and the subject of much debate.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow.
A debate that still rages on today, especially due to Chris Rock. He hadn't really opened up about the slap until he did a new comedy special, that is. We'll break it down for you. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 3, the hits and low blows. Let's get right to it, shall we? Because there's a lot to discuss here. Chris Rock unleashed his full fury on Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith during his live Selective Outrage Netflix special on Saturday night, blessing them both for the bad blood that led to the Oscar-nominated actor slapping Rock at last year's Academy Awards. It wasn't until the end of the 1-hour special that he lashed out with a year's worth of resentment. She started that shit, he said of Pinkett Smith's comments that he should quit hosting the Oscars, where he joked about her and Will's boycott of the 2016 ceremony because Will wasn't nominated for his performance in Concussion. Rock said that the slap had nothing to do with him, noting that it erupted from Smith's frustration over his own relationship with his wife.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Yes, it happened. I got smacked like a year ago. And a lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night? Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. It's like, hey, I was sucking somebody else's. How did that make you feel? Why the would you do that? She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? Okay? Everybody. And who's he hit? Me. He know he could beat. That is some ass.
He made fun of their entanglement situation, saying everyone called Will a bitch for putting up with Jada's affair, but I'm the one he hit. Rock was referring to Smith and Pinkett's alleged open marriage, and particularly her relationship with a younger man, August Alsina, which was the subject of widespread gossip. Will Smith practices selective outrage. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that. I didn't have any entanglements. He said pointedly, I normally would not talk about this shit, but for some reason these put shit on the internet. She hurt him way more than he hurt me. He couldn't believe she was still angry about the 2016 joke. That's how it is. She started it, I finished it. Nobody's picking on this bitch.
But I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah or Gail crying. You will never see it. Never gonna happen.
Rock also said that when people ask if the slap hurt, he answers, yes, it hurts. It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ears. But I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah. I took that hit like Manny Pacquiao. He began the show saying, I'm going to do a show tonight without offending anyone, but you never know who might get triggered. People say they always say words hurt. That's what they say. You gotta watch it because words hurt. Anybody that says words hurt has never been punched in the face. He said at the top of the show that saw him taking aim at the Kardashians, Meghan Markle, and his own kids, among others, of course. You could definitely feel his fury and outrage about what happened, and while some people might have taken the high road to get over the feud, Chris Rock definitely wasn't in a high road kind of mood. No, he was in a everyone must burn kind of mood, and it showed.
Will Smith played Muhammad Ali in a movie. You think I auditioned for that part? He played Muhammad Ali. I played Pookie in New Jack City.
Number 2. Will and Jada. Rock wasn't afraid to pile it onto the Smiths throughout the show beyond what we talked about earlier. For example, he wasn't done talking about the entanglement that Will and Jada went through, as well as the actions that they took to resolve it via the Red Table Talk episode. I have no idea why two talented people would do something that fucking low down. Rock continued during his Netflix stand-up. What the fuck? We've all been cheated on. Everybody in here has been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television.
His wife was f***ing her son's friend, okay? Now, I normally would not talk about this shit, but for some reason, these put that shit on the internet.
I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship.
Rock admitted that when the news broke about the couple, he tried to reach out to Smith. I tried to call the motherfucker and give him my condolences. He ain't pick up for me. Everybody called that man a bitch. They called his wife a predator. Everyone called him a bitch. Everybody. And who does he hit? Me. During his stand-up, Rock admitted he had always been a fan of Smith, making this situation particularly peculiar. He's made some great movies. I have rooted for Will Smith my whole life. I rooted for this motherfucker. And now I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. Got me rooting for Master. Rock said of Smith's new film where Smith plays a man escaping slavery. A lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. I've got parents. And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people, he said before literally dropping the mic. That's certainly one way to end a comedy show. And it definitely got a reaction from the crowd, as well as from critics. In fact, the whole special got tons of attention due to its content. Number 1, reactions. So what was the reaction from people that watched it and beyond? Well, social media was certainly full of responses, and much like the critical reviews, they were as mixed as you can get. Many people praised Rock for going off as he did, while critics blasted part of his sketches and even labeled the show at one point a gimmick that the audience didn't mind being part of. There were even sources close to Jada who called Chris Rock obsessed for doing these jokes about her and Will. But that same source said that Rock doesn't care about any backlash, and that may be true. After all, he's not the one with the target on his back. It was Will and Jada who came out suffering after the Oscars due to what happened. Many people actually praised Rock for not blasting Will and Jada constantly throughout the year or cashing in on what would have been a blockbuster interview for sure. While it's true that Will Smith did apologize to Chris Rock and his family multiple times over the past year, it's clear that Chris Rock isn't ready to forgive. Should he? Well, that's up for him to decide. And there you have it, everyone. A deep dive into what Chris Rock said about Will and Jada Smith, his thoughts on the Oscars incident both in 2022 and 2016, and how people are handling this comedy special from the viewer standpoint. Did Chris Rock go too far in your eyes? Or do you think that he handled himself in a way benefiting a comedian? What do you think will happen next with this trio? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.